What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Hitting the Bars with your girl, Savvy Wavy One. Next to KOC. How's it going?
It's going good. It was one of those Mondays though. There's just like things like randomly aren't working. Like I tried texting my manager, doesn't go through. Try to open Google Chrome, doesn't open. Drop my microphone. Like it's just one of those days where you're like, I'm actually taking you like sometimes you have those bad days and you're mentally like, why is the world against me? I'm just like mentally in a good place, but I'm like everything's breaking. Everything's breaking, but it's fine. It's fine. How are you doing?
That's the worst, though, when something like that happens, where you're like, what did I do to piss the universe off? What did you do?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I went to haunted house on Saturday, so maybe it's bad karma. Just went too much into spooky season, and so the good gods are like, Keltie, back to goodness. Remember, come back to the good side. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of.
How was the haunted house?
You know what? Haunted houses over the age of 13 are definitely not scary. You might jump because then it kind of pops out, but at no point are you actually like scared. Do you know what I mean? So you go through it and it's all these like painted faces and all that, and they're screaming, but like you know what's coming. But every once in a while, one of those, mechanical things is actually a person that jumps at you, and you're like, ah! But then you realize it's like a 14-year-old kid making minimum wage, so it's actually not scary. You're like, oh, hi, Johnny. Go about your day. So it's just like 3 jump scares. But the scariest part was my friend is terrified. And she decided to use me as a human shield. And I was like, I did not sign up. So she's pushing me as like a death grip on me and pushing me first. And the blonde always dies first in horror movies. So I'm like, no, I'm not living up to this prophecy. We got into like, it was a physical altercation. Like I had to rip her hands off me. I was like, I did not sign up for going first and being sacrificed.
Yeah, that's so funny. There is always that one person that will leave you in the dust.
Mm-hmm.
I did one in Universal Studios when I was like a teenager with my mom and then her friend Kim, and my mom went in with me, and she was so scared. She pushed me down and ran away, and I was alone. And then there was like this family that came up, and I was like, can I walk with you? And then my mom got out and she's like, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm like, wow. Sometimes. Great to know this.
Good to know that mother instinct has a limit.
Right? If it's a horror movie, no. You know what actually looks good that's a horror film? Right. Was The Girl in Outer Banks, Madison Bailey, I think. It's like, I just watched a trailer for it today. It's a new Netflix film coming out where she has to like go back in time and save her sister from being murdered. It looked like a fun, like, catchy kind of Halloween show.
I can get behind that. What are your thoughts on, like, gory horror movies?
I don't watch them. Like Saw and things like that. Yeah. Final Destination. I don't think I've ever actually watched them. Because, like, one of my biggest fears in life is, like, being tortured. And being, like...
That's a valid fear.
Yeah, right? Like, I don't know why, but, like, I can't watch that kind of stuff. It'll scare me so much. And then, like, Michael will have to deal with me not being able to go to the bathroom, even though it's 2 feet away at night, like, because it's too dark. Like, my friend Maddie and I, when we were teenagers, we would always watch horror films together. So she's the one friend I watch it with. And, like, we will be so spooked out that I'm over, and I'm like, you need to keep your door open. Like, I just in case somebody's going to come in and kill me, I want you and your husband to hear that I'm getting killed. Like, we are so crazy about it, but it's the one time I'll watch a horror film is if she's here with me. What about you?
That's valid.
What do you think?
I used to think I was, like, the cool girl, and I used to be like, yeah, I know I like watching horror movies. I can stomach it. And now I'm like, no, you can't. Be real. And I was like, there's certain ones I like if it's an actual, like, cinematic masterpiece or really funny, like I can get there, but the ones that are just pure gore, I don't want to see that image because I have so many images from horror movies in the past that are like embedded in my mind, like you can't unsee it, and I don't need any more. I don't want to have this random, like every time I drive behind logs on a semi-truck, I just think Final Destination. I was like, I have too many of those things in my life and I don't want any more. So not really. And actually, ironically enough, and this is also, I was like, half the time I'm sleeping alone. Last night, I heard this massive thud in my apartment, and there's nothing scary when, like, you know it's in, and you're like, did I lock the doors? But to get up out of your bed, like, you're safe in your bed, even though you're actually not. You're very vulnerable. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm safe here. of whatever is out there. But I was like,
Wait,
you're like, no,
yeah.
you're just trying to convince yourself, like, oh, it was nothing, it was nothing. But I was 99% sure I hung up some albums on my wall, some like vinyls yesterday. And I was like, you definitely did not hang them up well. So I was like, 99% of the chance it was just one of those albums. But I'm like, why couldn't I have just gotten up and then fine and figured out what it was? But I was like, I was too petrified to get up. So I was just 30 minutes laying there awake. Like, I hope that was my album. But then it was comforting that I was like, if there was a killer in here, I'd be dead by now. Like, he's not waiting till I fall asleep. He doesn't know if I'm asleep or not. So I'm like, okay, I should be okay.
There's, have you watched that TV show that's like a podcast about murder? And it's the murderers on it.
Yeah.
You guys should watch this. It's really good. I think it's on Peacocks. Not a lot of people heard about it. But I think it's called like Based on a True Story. And it's like this couple makes a murder podcast. And like, you know how true crime does really well. And so then they are like trying to figure out who this murderer is. And they end up knowing who he is and like blackmails him into like coming on the podcast anonymously. So they make more money.
Wow.
But it sounds like that because they were always showing like how he'd murder girls and they'd be like hiding in the blankets and he'd just come like murdering them. Or like one was like they were doing it was the girl from Stranger Things. It's like the opening and like she's like doing the mirror exercise and he just like kills her right there. And you're like, but like that one's it's funny. So it doesn't scare me.
I can deal with that. Like, you need some humor because then you're like, oh, this isn't real. This is funny. This is comedy. But when it's just like too real, I'm like, I can't do it. But I do love it to like a little bit. Like, I love a spooky story, like a little bit of true crime come October, just like what we're doing now. Just that. But then it gets to be a point where I remember last year I listened to this podcast and they talked about mirrors. And it took me like 6 months to be able to see a mirror when it was dark because I'm like, okay, that was my limit. No more scary.
Did you ever go into a mirror and say Bloody Mary like 3 times?
I did as a kid, but I'm pretty sure I lied that I did it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was so scared. Like, you know, we all went in there. If I remember, everyone else did it, and I'm pretty sure I was a good little Christian girl. I was like, oh yeah, I know, I'm gonna go do it. And I'm pretty sure I just stood in the dark. It was like, oh my God, so scary. And I'm pretty sure I didn't do it.
You were like, way too scared to do it.
Yeah, I was like, God is scared. I'm not crossing that line.
Yeah, I agree. But I saw some meme on that being like, what 10-year-old didn't do that? And I'm like, yeah, that was like a weird thing we all did.
Yeah, that was the cinnamon and sugar butter toast, and it was the
Bloody Mary. Cinnamon challenge, the gallon challenge.
What was it, like star 69 or whatever when you like a prank call?
Well, star 67
or whatever it was.
I think 69 is like a joke as an innuendo. Yep. But I used to think it was star 69. And then like I definitely prank called people on that and then realized that didn't work. I think it's star 67. I used to love to prank call like a crush. Oh, that was the days. That was the days.
Adult. Do you ever think back though? Because like, for example, now my TikTok is all just like dads letting their kids prank them, which I think is the cutest, like best form of content. Because like the dad knows he's coming, but he doesn't want to like burst the kid's parade. Do you ever think of like how many times you thought you got away with pranks as a kid, and now that you're adult, you're like, oh no, whoever I was prank calling fully knew, and they just went along with it, or your parents, but you thought you were so smart and mischievous. It was like, no. Your parents just let you have that one.
Definitely. They were like, well, they could be doing drugs, but instead they're prank calling.
I don't think I knew what drugs were at that age, so.
No, that's true. That's true. Speaking of things we did younger, I played beer pong Friday. Someone hosted a party.
Nice.
And there is this ongoing joke with some of my friends here because I'm like, you won't find me at a party. Like, I am a recluse. I will be watching Outer Banks reruns with my dog and my husband, who equally is like, nah. So I was like, okay, I'll go to this party. But I almost bailed because I was like, hey, the bed is calling me after dinner. And we show up and my friend Jamie is like, oh my God, Savannah is here. What is life? And I'm like, I know, bitch. Like, let's throw down. Okay. And so they had beer pong, like these really cute tables. I want to buy them for, very girly of me, really cute tables. But I want to buy them for Dad's giving. And Millie and I were like, let's play beer pong like we did in college. And we were each other's partners. Oh my God. We were going against 2 of our guy friends that are gay. And they had no idea how to play beer pong, nor did we. We couldn't remember.
The
All I
girls and the
remembered
gays
was,
are
like-
not meant for beer pong.
No, not at all. And it was like we played a completely different beer pong game than compared to when we played with Simon and Michael. They were like, that's not the rules. We're like, well, Ed said it. And they're like, well, he just must not know how to play beer pong like you guys don't. But like it unlocked this memory of like, remember how you'd giggle in college when like you'd ask them to reshape the cups when it got down to a thing, and like the 4, like the diamond would be called the P word. I can't say it. And Millie and I were like cackling, like remembering this from college. And I filled it with water, and everyone's like, why are you filling it with water? And I was like, because we're civilized humans. I'm not going to drink this. Like, I'm going to have my drink in my hand, but like these beer pongs are dirty. Like they're running around all over the backyard. So have you played recently?
I can't remember the last time I played. I'd say I'm at the wedding. I think I played. Oh no, I played briefly at the wedding. I'd say I'm like I come out of retirement, but every 6 months someone brings a beer pong table, and I gotta just prove that I still got it because it is my flex in life. That was all I could say. I spent 20 years of my life playing basketball. And all it served me now is being able to do party tricks when it comes. So beer pong, people are like, oh, let's go play some 1-on-1, and like see this ditzy drunk blonde, and I'm like, just you wait. I'm going to score some 3-pointers. But beer pong is my special talent. I do pride myself on that.
Wow. You should have been there because we were not strong. I used to be so good. Not anymore.
It takes practice.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was insane. But I was quite proud. I attended the party, had a few drinks. We were in bed by midnight. It was a great time.
Love that for you. Actually, I completely lied. Every hockey party with Megs, there's beer pong. I was like, so come winter, season's back on, there is a lot of beer pong. I was like, I've just been
like
in
a
an off
college
season.
party?
No, it's just it's a lot of boys playing sports, drinking. It's practically frat mentality, but like classier frat.
Classier. Okay.
Not
Richer
college.
frat because they're professional athletes.
Yeah, for the most part. I don't know. Some of those frats, I'm scared where those people come from money-wise. I'm like, I don't know, some of those guys.
Oh, you mean in like college?
Yeah. I was like, I think some of those guys have bigger net worth than any professional athlete.
Depending on the school. The kooks. I'm watching Outer Banks, guys. The kooks are the rich ones. But no, that was like a thing. Like the frat that Michael was in, which is so ironic because he does not come from money, but that frat was known for money because they had a professional basketball player that used to be part of that frat, and he completely pimped out, built this multi-million-dollar home, like this frat home. They had an elevator. I remember us all being like, ooh, they have an elevator.
Yeah.
And because we all lived in these like dingy homes that were like built so long ago. Like my sorority, I lived in like a sleeping porch that was freezing cold, and there were like rats running around, right? So like to us, that was like luxurious. And maybe none of the guys came from money. It was just like, that was like this stereotype because they had so much money for their like socials and things like that because this guy fronted them.
Makes sense. Optical illusion. Classic college. You don't even know what like money is. You go in there, you just come and you're like, whoa, shiny objects. That girl's got a Kate Spade purse. Like, you know what I mean? You're just like completely oblivious. And it's like elevator must mean money. When in Rational,
mine was like, they shop at Safeway and not Walmart. They are rich.
Well, speaking of hot takes, mine is, someone explain this to me. What is with some mirrors doing you so dirty? In the office, we have 2 mirrors in the same bathroom, same lighting. I look in one, and I'm like, where did all these pimples come from? Where did these wrinkles, these bags in my eyes? Then I looked to the left, the other one. I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure that's what I look like. But then that's what I look like in most mirrors. But then there is that mirror. So what do I really look like? And why suddenly this one got to do me dirty? Like, what is that? Someone explain that science to me.
Isn't it something like how nice the mirror quality is?
I don't know. They're both pretty cheap mirrors. I don't know.
Isn't it like if you put your finger against it, and if it's like double, like you can see 2 of your fingers, it's like shitty material, or somebody's watching you. Either one.
I think, I can see double-sided mirror. That would make sense. I don't know. I'll go test it.
But I get
it's in
you.
a cabinet, so it's definitely no one looking. It's like a cabinet mirror, so
I'll
know that. I'll test it.
But
let you know.
Mirrors will humble you. Absolutely. I recently heard this theory, and I just need to know what you think on this, that everyone is talking about preventative Botox is like for the peasants. They don't actually know how Megan Fox looks like Megan Fox. They're actually getting facelifts young, and that they're just like continuously getting facelifts, and that's how they're having this skin. Do you think this is true? Because I've gotten preventative Botox since I was like 24.
Well, I don't know like the pros or cons for like preventative Botox, like if that's like where the line is. Like I think that would be like the professional. Do you know what I mean? When to start, when not, when's too much. And then like you do see some people that just did a little amount of Botox a long time, and that's how they never got deep set wrinkles. Then of course I've heard of stories like people doing too much Botox and they become Botox resistant. But oh my god, why is my phone ringing? Sorry, let me shut that up. But I've heard rumors about Hollywood, this thing called like a micro facelift. Once again, complete rumors. I've never even like Googled it. I don't know if it's a thing at all, but this is like rumors I've heard. It's like some people, what they get, and this is why they say like, oh, I've never done Botox. I never do anything. It's because they're getting mini facelifts. So it's like they calculate exactly how much your face slopes every year, and they bring it back that much, is like the rumor of this procedure. But I've never seen it, and apparently costs like $500,000 and all this. Once again, complete rumors. But then to counteract it, a regular facelift is really common. Like you could just go to like a regular plastic surgeon and hear about it. And like I think they're actually going to start becoming more and more common, because like people are over filler and filling their face and like Botox, and like the only real solution at some point is a facelift. But you can only do a certain amount in your lifetime, because think you have to like take the skin off your muscle and all that. So that's where like I think that's a whole different procedure, because I think you can only do like 3 or 4 facelifts in your entire life. So they're like, don't even consider it till you're 40, because you have to space it out, and then you do one when you're 50, like assuming you had all the money and all that in the world. But that's kind of like, I remember even talking to like a cosmetic surgeon about it. I was like, yeah, they're like 45, consider it. But like you can only do like 2 or 3, so you got to pace it out. Like you don't want to do too early, and then you can't do it when it's older. But those are what I've heard. Once again, not medical advice. That's just what the grapevine I've heard.
Interesting. Yeah, that kind of opened my eyes, that I was like, I do have one of my friends. She's almost 60, and she wanted a facelift like maybe like 5 years ago. She was like infatuated with it, like constantly researching it. And she ended up not doing it because she was like, some of these people that have a lot of money can get botched, like, or they just like look really weird. Like we all know there's celebrities that look really fucking weird, but then again we got Megan Fox, we got Kim Kardashian, and you're like, damn, you look like you're fresh out of 25. And so I was just curious, but I'm not against it. I really dislike when people online or just even in my life like judge that type of thing, where I'm like, if that makes them happy, I think it's cool. I will definitely be that bitch that will get it when she's 40. Like I'm vain and I know that, and at least I own it. I'm not lying. Yeah,
and that's why I'm kind of like, that's why like I could go get filler and things like that. So she's at your age, my face is starting to hollow out a little. I see that. I'm like, or I'm just gonna wait to get a facelift one day instead of getting fillers. So I'm like, I was like, is it something that actually fixes it versus like a temporary? And like, if you want to go down a wormhole, go on. There's like so many plastic surgeons posting on YouTube with like their problem with filler. And I'm not saying anti-filler. Like there's definitely places for it. But like, I think we're getting fillers so young to like make up for like when you actually need it when you're older. And like, we don't know. We're the first generation that's like, oh, a little cheek like this. Well, so we'll find out.
Yeah. But speaking of finding out, are you down the rabbit hole like every other American is?
Down the rabbit hole?
Oh, the P. Diddy rabbit hole?
Oh, I can't even like, I heard what happened last week about him and like what's come out, and I'm like, shut laptop. Blech. But I'm hearing like little rumors about, like everything's everywhere, that I've just kind of started tuning it out. But I've heard a little bit of like Ashton and the Justin Bieber and those kind of crossfires, but I'm actually kind of actively avoiding it because it gives me the heebie-jeebies so much.
Wow, 2 types of girls in this world right now. The one that goes down the rabbit holes and the ones that run away from the rabbit holes.
Oh, when I heard what he did, and it was or I guess allegedly has done, I'm like, I hope you just rot in hell. And
Oh, it's
I'm
disgusting.
Like, away.
Also, prison does not take nice to those types of people.
Which is kind of beautiful. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those, like, justice, be justicing.
Yeah, but it is so weird. Like, The Simpsons, like, you know how they always predict things?
Yeah.
The Simpsons had an episode on this. This is all I see is on TikTok. I don't actually go down other rabbit holes, but I mean, TikTok can get you pretty deep. But it is just like wild to think that was going on. But like, it always been kind of like sus. Like, I remember I had seen the Justin Bieber P. Diddy thing like years ago. Like, I think everybody had always been like, you are sus. You
Sounds weird.
You give me weird vibes. But I also wonder if anything will actually come out, because they're like, all these people are going to sing for their, rights to not go to jail, whatever. But then again, with the Epstein stuff, he just died and then
just disappeared.
We heard nothing. Isn't that weird?
It's so weird.
Just because he's dead doesn't mean like those women shouldn't get some
fully
some answers. But no, instead they just were like, it's too messy. There's too many people. So I'm like, I wonder if that will happen again.
So that's why I'm like, I will check back in when that happens. But right now it feels like so much like you can get down the wormhole of like nothing else has like even come out. So I'm like, I'm just gonna wait.
A lot of allegations.
See what happens.
A lot of far-fetched things. But I'm like, I'm down there, guys. I wonder if anyone else is down there with me.
It can get you. Just rope you in. I don't blame you. So we'll find out. And just hopefully justice is served.
Absolutely.
Well, on that headline, shall we get into the headlines of today's episode?
Let's do it.
Number 1. I'm curious if you've done this, and I did it. Headline number 1. TikTokers are using ChatGPT to design their dream lives. So people have realized you can use ChatGPT to like manifest and everything. So here's the steps. Step 1. You provide ChatGPT with a short description of your dream life. Step 2. Ask ChatGPT what a day in the life of your dream looks like. Step 3. Ask what steps you need to take to make your dream a reality today. Have you done this? Will you do this? What are your thoughts?
So what is the outcome? Is ChatGPT just giving you a summary of how to achieve it?
So in essence, like, right, you're going to like, manifesting is like every day, think your dream life. So you write out like the things you would like, and then ChatGPT writes out you this paragraph of like the perfect day. So you can like almost get this little story of like the perfect day. And then you reverse engineer it and you're like, okay, well, like I want that to be my life one day. What steps do I need to take? Make me a little routine that would get me there.
Oh, I like that. You've done it?
I did.
Was it helpful?
And not really.
Why?
So
is it like
it was
drink
really
water?
Fun. Well, no, it was really fun. But first, I was way too wordy. I need to simplify. So just be warned. Like I wrote everything because everyone in it is like, write your wildest dreams, biggest dreams. So I'm like, okay, blah, 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 and I wrote everything. And then you could tell like it definitely overwhelmed ChatGPT and it forgot about like half the things. And also, there's a few things that like I was like, describe my like, what do I need to do every day to make this happen? So like one example, I was like, I would love to have like my own custom shoe with a brand I love, like a Lulu or an Aloe or Asics or something, my own like Keltie branded shoe. And ChatGPT was like, okay, Monday do this, Tuesday do this, Wednesday at 6 a.m. make sure to go in for protocol meetings to how to properly design your shoe. I was like, no, I'm not there yet. I'm like, I'm 80 steps behind. What are the like? So sometimes ChatGPT doesn't like fully get the idea of routines and like step by step, but it's kind of a nice little goal setting, especially with like, New Year's resolutions in the near distance, like a fun way to just like reframe.
I like the idea. Like, I mean, it's better than drugs once again.
True.
So
it's not bad.
It's like, yeah, like people that clown on people doing this, it's like, I mean, you try this then, because I love the idea of manifesting. I've never tried this though. I do love ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT every day, but more of like I'm really bad with articulating my words. So like in emails and things. So I'll be like, rewrite this. So like, but I've never done that. That sounds cool. But I feel like I wouldn't really apply it. Might be a fruity like foo-foo thing that I'm like, oh nice, and then I might forget. But I'd love to know people that did have success down the line and been like, ChatGPT made this come true, right?
I mean, we're in the age of AI. Like we're in the first year of like just everyone really utilizing it, I feel. So we shall see. We shall see.
Yeah.
There should be some CEOs in 10 years be like, I have to thank, like Oprah thanks God. People are going to thank ChatGPT, which is revolting to think about in some ways.
Totally. We were just talking to ChatGPT yesterday. Michael was like, how old is my dog if he's 9 years old in dog years, right? And it was like having a conversation with us. And it was like, is he healthy? And I was like, it has like emotion to its voice. And like it's so creepy that like that's kind of going the route. Or even we're landscaping our backyard and Michael just paid somebody to like AI landscape it within like a day. And like we just showed it to our handyman and was like, do you think he can help us with this? And he's like, yeah. Otherwise, because we went to a nursery and we were like, shit, we don't know what to do. Like, so we just paid somebody to design it, probably like put it into some AI, and like it looked like an exact replica of our house, our backyard. It was so creepy. Looked very nice in the renderings.
Well, Google, like their Gemini just came out today with AI podcasts. So pretty much you can write a script and you pick the voice you want it and it will read you it. And I heard an example and it's too good. Like, obviously you can still tell like sounds a little off, but they have it down to like the girl like said like in the middle of it. You know what I mean? Like the mannerisms are so fluent, and they had this one guy with his like deep baritone voice, and like he was like, I'm like, oh my God, nobody's safe.
Nobody is safe. No job is safe. No one is safe.
Nobody.
Isn't it like, didn't Elon Musk say don't do AI?
But he's trying, he's one of those people that has like, he's big on the, what's it called? There's like getting laws passed to like, don't let it go. There's like a law they tried to pass a year ago of like, don't let it go any more advanced until we figure out like rules and regulations of how to handle it. But I'm pretty sure that just never happened.
Oh, so scary.
So that's the end of that. That was fun, being a human and all, but we're cyborgs now. So new era, new us.
Yeah. It's like, have you ever seen the movie Ready Player One?
Oh yeah.
That's what I feel like one day it'll become that.
Something like that.
Those that haven't watched it, it's like a gaming virtual reality movie where like they're like living in these like box cars, but then it's because like they're spending all their time just in this video game in a fake world. Like don't really know what's going on around them.
Yeah. Like the world is like Mad Max, like apocalyptic, but in your AI metaverse world, like you're a star and it's great. And then like, honestly, it sounds like fun. Like they go on treadmills. I'm like, that sounds actually kind of fun. Run on a treadmill in a virtual reality game. Sounds pretty fun. Won't lie.
It's like a level up from Club Penguin.
True. Neopets to Ready Player One.
Yeah, right?
Now, next one to bring us back down to earth is wearing this walking boosts calorie burn and muscle growth. So this is a Women's Health article, and it's all over TikTok. Girls are wearing weighted vests during physical activity. Does it live up to the hype? And would we do it? There's improved benefits such as bone density. It just adds like a little extra strength element to your workout, boosts cardiovascular health, promotes better posture, burn calories. What are your thoughts on wearing a vest during your hot girl walk?
Oh, I fuck with it. I have the ankle weights, the wrist weights. They finally came and I love them.
Nice.
I could see, I don't think I would wear a vest just because I sweat so much where I live. It would be very icky. But I think that's great. I would definitely do something like this. I am doing it with the ankle weights.
There you go.
What do you think?
I actually realized I've been doing it for like 6 years by accident because my only mode of transportation is my feet because I don't have a car. And I have to carry a lot of camera gear and laptops. And so I got this big weighted backpack every day. And I got to lug it home and to work. So I'm like, I've kind of been ahead of this trend in a little way. Dare I say it's even heavier than the weighted vest. And it does force you to have good posture. Because if you don't have good posture with that, you are going to be feeling it. So I feel it's good. And I like the idea of like, especially for like older people who like don't want to start lifting weights. At least it's like a way like they just want to go for walks and all that. I'm like, it's a way to like hide spinach and pasta sauce for old people. Put some weights on their vest while you go on a walk. And it's just like a little extra thing to spice up your walk.
Yeah. How many miles do you think you walk a day?
That's a good question. Let's see what Apple says. Let's see how many I'm at for today.
Like how far do you even live from your studio? Your workspace?
I'm going to do that on my map right now. I want to say it's like 5K.
So
it takes me about
3
35
miles,
minutes.
3.3.
Oh, sorry, Siri.
5K?
Oh yeah, I got to do it for. Let me type in my address. It is. Oh, it says it's only like 3K, so it's like 1.7 miles there and back. But then I'm also running on top of that. So it's one of those things like that's just my commute there and back. But then I got to stop for groceries, pop in somewhere. So, I'm in the 10K probably walk in a day, then add on some runs or subtract probably, I would assume.
I love that. That's cool. Have you ever been like, I wish I had a car. This is so annoying.
Every day. Especially when it rains. And like, it's fine being downtown Vancouver, you're fine. But like, I can never really leave downtown unless I take an Uber. But every time I go to buy a car, then I see the financing and I'm like, oh, I got to pay this. I got to do this. And so I've tried to buy a car and then I talk myself out of it. I'm like, oh, I'll just do it next month. And so that's just me procrastinating.
Have you ever rented on Turo?
We don't have Turo here, but we have things called like Evo and all that here, which I could get, but my license plate, I haven't switched my license from Alberta to BC, so I can't get it.
Arrest her. Somebody arrest her.
I was like, nothing. I was like, I still pay my taxes in the right place, so I'm like, is it that bad? Is it that bad?
Yeah.
Okay, another healthy habit that's been trending. Not really trending, but I just thought this was interesting. The Beckham family were found doing this healthy habit. So David and Victoria Beckham were photographed while they were on a private family vacation, and they they booked a private yoga class. So they were on the beach with like their kids and them doing like a privately led yoga class when they were away on vacation. So what do you think of like a healthy habit, getting the whole family to do a yoga together?
Oh, I hate it. Blasphemy. No, I mean, I think that's really cool. I
was like, really?
I have a little insider knowledge on they might be partnering with some very healthy companies. So, in the talks. And so this does not shock me if this is a PR event.
That makes so much sense. I was like, odd headline. It was like headline too. I'm like, okay, we love a healthy habit. There's the tea.
Can't confirm nor deny. But I would actually like that because I think that's a great thing to teach your kids. Just like my parents taught me to go to a gym and not be scared of it and get exercise. What do you think?
I love it. I don't really like the idea of like hiring a yoga instructor because that seems just not cost efficient for the average person. But I like the idea of just like throwing up a YouTube.
Average.
I know, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. But then like just throwing up like you're away on vacation. It's a nice way to like do something together, just to start your day and like ground yourself. So like pulling up a YouTube channel, yoga with our Adrian or yoga with Adrian, and just like following along. I'm going home for Thanksgiving tomorrow, and so like I was like, I like that idea of us just doing a little family yoga. So we'll be
hire an instructor.
No, we're not. We're not bougie like that. We'll be at the cabin. Billy, my mom's dog, will be leading the downward dog.
Yes, I love when a dog does a downward dog.
Love it. Now, next headline, I was like, I feel we have this headline every month and it's never fully happened, but I want to get your thoughts. This was a headline for like one of those magazines, Vogue or whatever, the return of skinny jeans. Now, the snug cut denim is slowly making a comeback and millennials and Gen Z stars are not on board. It's all over like the fall winter 2024 runways. It was. Chloe Feynman was even saying, no, we don't need to go do that again. There's a lot of like celebrities who are like, no, we're not involved in this, but it's happening. And I won't lie, I opened up the Aritzia winter like email, and like it was like denim winter 2024 2025. The first jeans it showed was skinny, because I feel they've been like pretending they're coming back again for like the last few years. But I'm like, is it actually going to happen? Or I just think every jean's in now. I want to know your thoughts.
Oh, this is why I don't throw away my jeans. This is why I kept my Topshop Jamie jeans, you bitches, because I fucking love skinny jeans. Because they feel like leggings if you have good skinny jeans. I don't like baggy jeans. Like I feel like I'm constantly pulling them up, or like they're too tight on my waist, but like too baggy down below, or maybe they're too low. Like my body does not fit those types of jeans. They fit skinny jeans. I feel like athletic person usually likes the skinny jean vibe because you can get jeggings. And like,
True.
I also love a sweater with skinny jeans. I love skinny jeans with booties. Like that, I will be thriving and I will be pulling this out. I knew they'd come back, you bitches. And I just remember once I was with my sister-in-law. This is like a few years back. And we were wearing skinny jeans and we stuck out like a sore thumb. Like we looked old as fuck. And now we're going to look trendy. So what do you think? I feel like we are opposite.
Or I'm not against the skinny jeans. Like for me, I held on to like my 3 favorite. Like a couple years ago, I did a jean rebrand, and I'm like, I'm buying timeless Levi jeans. That is what I'm buying. And I was like, I want to think of like what matches my body type best, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm like, I'm just gonna buy a good quality. I'm gonna take my time and rebuild my jean wardrobe. But I did have 2 or 3. Like I had a black pair of Levi's, a dark and a white skinny, and I was like, what am I gonna wear with boots? Like, because I love a high rise for them. So I'm like, I'm going to keep it when I want that like rider boot style look. And like, I haven't brought them out. So it's just like a reminder of like, if something you love goes out of style, just hold on to it. It will come back, or just like keep rocking it. But like, I've noticed it's not the skinny jeans look bad, but I do love like a lower rise. I don't like a high rise, like straight denim, or even like straight with a little bit of a boot cut. That's what, at least in the era I'm in right now, I think looks best. So I'm like, and I feel that that's timeless. Like, I feel skinny jeans too, if you dress it right, is timeless as well. Baggy is the only one that I'm like, that might not be timeless. I'm going to keep rocking them while they're in.
I could see where they are timeless. Maybe baggy is not. I do think the older that we get, the less I care about trends, because I'm not in school. I'm not like seeing anybody on the reg, where I feel like when I was younger, I was like way more inundated on like, oh, what's trendy, where now I'm like, I just don't really care that much. I'm like, I want something staple. I'm going to wear things that flatter my body and / practical for living on an island. And I call it good.
Yeah, love it. Actually, I'd be interested. I heard this on a YouTube video I was watching, like capsule wardrobe must-haves, just so I was down that wormhole. And the one person was saying how there's no actual fall trends really this year. Like the trends for fall fashion are like burgundy, brown, leather, like AK just fall fashion. Like it's like everything is just like stuff we've all seen before. Like even me, I haven't seen any item aside from like burgundy kind of dominating. Which I was like, everyone has a burgundy sweat. No, everyone, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a timeless thing. And so it's almost like a sign of just like money and everything right now. Like if you buy patterns, if you buy the wacky, trendy thing, like we're all getting smarter with like fast fashion and just money, that you're like, oh yeah, that's money that will just be thrown out. And like, I think we saw even kids who are young, they were like, oh, I bought something in and it's gone the next year. Like they experienced what took us like 10 years, like, cause we experienced like 18 to 28. Like I think we truly experienced a fashion cycle in our like adulthood versus like the younger kids are experiencing it at these like micro doses. So I feel we're all just like, no, we're just going to like figure it out and like invest in pieces that look good on us that are going to last a long time, whether that be a classic white t-shirt or the jeans that fit us best or whatever it is.
Yeah. But man, am I happy. So you're telling me I have a New Orleans trip. You're telling me I can wear skinny jeans?
I mean, you just got to rock it well.
I can pack my skinny jeans?
Just
and you know what else is coming back? Is like leather jackets, like fake leather jackets. And I'm so mad because I got rid of mine. I had like 3 solid ones I got from Forever 21 on sale, and I was so proud of that. And I loved them like in college, and I got rid of them. And this is why you should never. But then again, it like does that. It's not good because you're hoarding. You know,
there's a line. There's a like, if you're going to spend the money, if you spend the money and it's like really nice and it's good quality and you love it, okay, keep that. But like, that's the problem about buying cheap stuff. It's like, it just ends up that you get so much of it, you end up hoarding. So I guess like that's why I guess thrift things, donate, bring it back, go thrifting, secondhand.
True.
I've been on the real hunting lately. Haven't bought anything, won't, but I'm hunting. I like to think.
What's
like,
real?
It's like a consignment store, like online. It's like one of the most popular, like online to like consignment. And like they have like obviously luxury, like you can buy Birkin off it, but they also just have like hunter rain boots and things like that. But like they're more known for like luxury. It's like one of the top consignment stores in LA, and they got so big that they have a whole app now. So I like to hunt on there and try and find good finds, but I never do. But I like to think. I am.
Are they more affordable? Like, I feel like consignment usually is, but then lately they've been really expensive.
It depends on the thing. Like if a Birkin or like a Chanel flap is like, regardless, like they've so like sought after. So even like secondhand, but yeah. But like if you want to just like, I was looking at like, because I was thinking, I was like, I don't have a brown bag and I wear so much brown. I was like, oh, I need a brown purse. So I was even thinking, I was like, why don't I just get like a basic monogram Louis Vuitton brown bag? I was like, oh, how much would like a cute little one look? And I decided not to because they're still expensive. They're still like 1,500 to 2,000 Canadian, which is like 700, 1,300 American. But those in store are like 4,000. So like, it's definitely worth it. And I was looking at all like pristine condition. Like you can get like, especially if it's something trendy, get it used. And then you can like know you can, that's also the plus. You can get it for a season and like resell it and get some of the value back. So something to consider.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's fun.
Well, to finish off, we do have some questions from the audience. And number one, which hit me in the heart, so I wonder if you have experience with this, but any advice on how to mentally deal with an injury? I will have to get my hip surgery revised, so no ETA for when I will be pain-free again. I'm going crazy not being able to be, I'm going crazy thinking about how I won't be able to be active. So they're scared of like being without pain-free and just like not being able to move their body with injury. What are your thoughts and advice?
Oh, that sucks. Even like my recent journey with the chiropractor, I like was so sore for weeks that I was like scarred by it and was like, I'm never going to feel normal again. And it's like, you have to remind yourself you will. Your body is amazing. It will heal eventually, and maybe play into things that you wouldn't usually, like maybe pick up a new hobby that doesn't involve exercising, or try and like find one that is exercising but won't be as harsh on your hips, which I'm not too sure what would be. But I don't know. I feel like I don't have good advice because it seems I would feel the same way because I'm so active, right? I just went rollerblading Saturday, and in my head I was like, this is so dangerous. Like, just in general, rollerblading is. And then my friend that day broke her ankle rollerblading. Not with me. She was just like separately rollerblading.
Crazy.
So it's like, that sucks now. And she's now like, shit, I shouldn't have done it. Like now she used to go to Pilates with us. She lifts. She's a personal trainer. She's like, I can't do any of it now. Do you have any good advice for her?
I think I do, as someone like who had like a career-ending injury, is like, first of all, in terms of pain, I don't know the pain level you'll be in, so I don't want to diminish it. But I've just noticed for myself, anyone who's had many surgeries, is like the thought of the pain is worse than the pain itself. Like every time it's that like thought in my head of like, oh my God, this is going to be so painful. And like, I can't believe this. And like, I'm so scared. Like, and it definitely is sore, and I'm not going to diminish it. But like, for whatever reason, when you're in it, your body has so many like chemicals and things it does to like just help you fight through it. So even though you'll be in pain when you move things and you'll be slow, you normally, every at least surgery I've had, knee surgeries, breast surgeries, mouth surgeries, like it's like kind of a numb, it's annoying, but it usually, and if it is so painful, luckily there's prescriptions that they will give you. But try not to dwell on it, because it's usually the dwelling is worse than the actual pain itself for that. And then not being able to move is the absolute worst part about surgery. I remember after my knee surgery, distinctly one time looking down the hallway, just like of my college, and just being like, what I would give to just run there. Like, it's just like your body will crave it. So don't like pretend that won't be a thing. But looking back, I wish I'd utilized that time more on things I always wish I did, but didn't, because now you kind of have a couple of hours in your day freed up. And you're not going to be exercising. Find other ways, but find things that give you that same endorphin high, that same like sense of dopamine, creativity, all that don't involve moving your body. So say you said, I've always wanted to play piano, or I've always wanted to learn drawing, or I always wanted to learn to sing, or like really lean into like the creative time. And like you can kind of get that same satisfaction you get from working out from a creative endeavor. So like when I'd injured, I wish I'd like worked on music and been like, so I always thought in the back of my head, but never had the time. And then so suddenly like, I was like, it's not a positive. I'm not like, yay, you have all this free time, but just think of like, what are you going to utilize this free time for? And a tip, go outside and get some like cold exposure. Cause that ickiness of being inside really is hard with the injury, but I think just getting some fresh air, whether it just be like an ice cube, a cold shower, getting out in the cold, also helps with like that icky feeling you get from not moving your body. And that's my tip.
No, I like that. I think that's way more helpful than mine. And you also have personal experience. So
I was like, the only reason is from experience. So that's what life teaches you.
Yeah.
Now, on a lighter note, how to get healthy hair that shines. What are your tips?
Okay, well, people are watching me on YouTube. My hair is in a crazy bun, and that's because I have a hair mask in. So what I've been doing is I do rosemary, castor oil, and then jojoba, however you say it.
Yeah.
And I put it all over my scalp because I was having like thinning in my scalp. And I realized it was me not washing my hair as often. Also, like getting a brush for the shower. It's like a weird looking shampoo brush, but it's supposed to help you if you have like dandruff or. I think the reason why my hair was like thinning was I used a lot of dry shampoo and it was clogging the pores or the hair follicles. Mm-hmm. And so it was thinning naturally. So I do a hair mask maybe once a week. And I leave it in all day, and it's like I just slick it back into a bun. I go exercise. I still sauna everything. I've taken Nutrafol. That's actually really helped me as well. I'm big on hair growth. So like anything more natural, and like I would never recommend just like going for extensions or anything as much as you want to, because it'll like be a quick fix. Do the annoying oils and things like that and find what your body and your hair like. Like mine tends to like react really well with this hair mask, and also me just brushing out because I have that problem with the clogged follicles. So just figuring out what it is in your hair that's like struggling. Mm-hmm. What would you say?
So many things that you said. We all have different like hair types. So, like a couple, like without just giving products, because if you guys, my products I've used, I've posted 1,000 times on my YouTube, so you know, and I've stayed consistent on my hair growth journey, and I swear by like so many of those Orbes. I have like an Orbe Olaplex routine, but in terms of just like simple things I've done that have helped tremendously is one, quitting dry shampoo, as you said. I do feel like, such as gym girlies use it a lot, and it's great for some people, and some people think it helps because like you're washing your hair less, but for me personally, it just like kept a lot of junk on my head, and like it also just think it absorbs moisturizer, so it's also going to absorb like moisture from your hair. So like if you're trying to work on shine and health, maybe laying off the dry shampoo a little, and like that's why I wear hats on days like I've usually, my hair's good 1 or 2 days, third, fourth day not as great, I'm going to wear a hat. But with wearing hats and like slick back buns, which is usually my go-to when I'm having greasy hair days, be careful with them, because like if you have a hat that like rubs on your hair, that can cause bald spots. Also on the flip side, we all love our slick back bun, but if you're really pulling at your hair, that can also cause damage. So like getting a good hair tie, and like really, I find my tools actually have helped a lot. So like utilizing getting like silk scrunchies or like a bristle brush that helps like spread the oil out. Like that helps a lot. Like a bristle brush, like those wild boar ones, like will spread the oil out on your hair. So it's not all greasy in one spot, and it's a lot less damaging. Your hair's a lot less likely to pull and all that. So just like kind of think about your day. Like I would always like whip my hair with my towel, really dry and aggressive. And now I like really just try and let it air dry for quite a bit, be really gentle with it, and just like kind of mindfully think if you're constantly pulling on your hair and being aggressive with it, that's going to make it. But in terms of shine, just a little bit of oil, make sure to have a heat protectant, and then no dry shampoo. But those are my little quick tips that work quick.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. And hair ties, I mean, my friend's a hairstylist, so she was trying to give me Rex, and she said like nylon hair ties are great, or like you said, the silk. And if you go to like TJ Maxx or like some discount store like that, they'll have them on sale. So I got 20 nylon hair ties for like $4. And like, that's what I use. It's just like less harsh. If my hair's really dry, so it breaks. Like I'll just brush it and I just get a lot of breakage. So it's like trying to nurture, if you are prone to have split ends, like just trying to take care of that if you're like rough with the bottom or the ends of your hair. And yeah, I'm trying to think. She had said rice shampoo or rice water is really good for you. That's like hair food. So people that make rice, like you could use the water from it and like put it all over your hair and like leave it for a few hours, and then it'll absorb it. Or my friend bought rice shampoo sticks. So it's like this stick, I get wet, and then I suds it up in my hair and I let it sit every time I shower. I just add it on, and it's really helped.
Love that. Love that. Also, just keeping in mind, Sephora semi-annual sale is usually in November. So I've just been like, I'm running low on like all my products, and I just have them all in a Sephora bag just waiting for that. Because that 20-30%, like I honestly stock up on my like hair care products for the year at the semi-annual sale. So just mental note before you go buy anything, it's coming. It's coming. Now, I thought it'd be a fun one to end off with. If you weren't fitness girlies, what kind of girlies would you be?
Oh, what a good question. If we weren't fitness girlies, oh my God, I feel like that's like might have been my whole life.
It's tough.
Fitness, do you know? You want to go first?
I think I'd be a like creative girly, lack of better terms. Like I think I just leaned a lot more into like music and like video production, like in that sense, like maybe a bit more fashion-y, regular fashion and music. That would probably be like, if I had to like cut all fitness out of my life, like what are other things? Like I love fashion trends, and then obviously like I love creativity through music and music videos and writing songs. And so I would probably just be a music girly that liked to dress up, and like I'd really care about like, you know, like I love Sabrina Carpenter's, like, you know how she has her whole like branding, like she dresses a certain way for like, I would be in that era would be what I'd be doing.
Oh, okay. Okay, I think I'd be either a corporate girly because I am very like driven. Yeah. And I think I would have to like harvest it somehow. And I don't know if I would have like came up with an entrepreneur idea if it wasn't for fitness. So I think I would have like become like a recruiter or something similar to that. Yeah. Or I liked, I love Hollywood. Love Hollywood. So like I wanted to be on production sets and like be in it and like score soundtracks and things like that. I think that would have been fun. But I don't know. That's a good question. It's like we kind of fall into this, and then you're like, we fell into it young too. So then you're like, well, I don't really know. But I know I was going the corporate world, but then I moved to California because I wanted to be near Hollywood. Yeah. So
it's crazy to think. It's so crazy to think if you didn't have this one part of your life, like what would you be? You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like I remember
could have been one detour. Like,
how crazy is that? I was like, had it not worked out, and like you met this one person at this time and this happened, and like how different your life could have been.
Oh, scary. I think if I did not meet Michael, I would never have done any of this. Like, which is funny because some people do this for revenge. They do it like, you know, they find the gym when they're really sad, or like they want to like, I'll show you, I'll be something. Mine was like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And he was like the only one encouraging me to do something with it, you know, like, hey, you work out a lot. Your body looks great. You love fitness influencers. Why don't you try it? You know? So it's like so weird to think that like canon event, or that like if I wouldn't have met him that last year, like, well, obviously I wouldn't have been married to him, I wouldn't be living in Puerto Rico. But it is so weird. I'm like, I don't know what I would have gone down as a career, because I really like am thankful he helped me do it. Because I don't think I would have had the confidence. I was so introverted and shy.
That's crazy. Mine's like the complete opposite, in the sense of like, had I not done this, I would have never met Megs. Because had I not like pursued this, I wouldn't have moved to Toronto. Had I not done that, we would have like, we all met thanks, not because of my career, but like what my career allowed me, the opportunities is what like allowed us to meet each other. So on the flip side, when I met Meg, maybe like, you never know. You know, what's the invisible string theory? I like that one. So I'm like, maybe we would have met regardless, but just in a different time and place.
Yeah, true.
But who knows?
Who knows? Good question.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning into today's podcast. Don't forget to leave a review if you haven't yet. And write in if you have any questions, advice, if you have a confession session for us. And we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.